Nothing is more evocative of early summer than the smell of gorse, or furze as it is more generally known in the Midlands. It's sometimes said to resemble coconut or ripe apricots, but really it smells of itself. There is nothing else like it. The most immediately distinctive thing about furze is its spines, which are actually modified stems and leaves and are sufficiently vicious to make it a very effective hedging plant. But they're also actually highly nutritious, and at one time were actually cultivated as animal feed. Of course, they had to be mashed up first of all, for which there were special bruising machines, furze bruising machines. Furze is a member of the pea family, which is the third largest family of flowering plants and second in economic importance only to the cereal grasses. Not just because of the large number of plants which are used as food or as forage, but also because of its ability to enrich soils that are nutrient poor. Now, in the pea family there's great variety of form. Many of them are trees, some are shrubs or climbers, and there are even some aquatic plants. But what interests us mainly for the moment are the flowers. And in the flowers also there's great variety in terms of size and colour, but they all conform to the same basic blueprint, the same floral blueprint, in spite of the fact that that blueprint is tailored in all sorts of different ways in different species. Some of that variation we look at during the course of the year, but to begin with, we want to take a look at the basic floral blueprint of the pea family. The flowers are bilaterally symmetrical or zygomorphic, and there are 5 petals. At the top of the flower is the prominent flag petal, whose function is to attract the visiting insects, and then at the side you have 2 wing petals, the function of which is to provide a landing pad for the visiting insects. Between these 2 wing petals is a structure known as the keel, from its resemblance to the front of a canoe, which is formed by the remaining 2 petals at the bottom of the flower, the upper and lower margins of which are lightly fused together. The stamens and the pistil are inside the keel. There are 10 stamens, 5 long and 5 shorter, whose filaments are fused and which split to release their pollen into the tip of the keel before the flower opens fully. Each of the wing petals has a little peg at the base that locks into a socket on either side of the keel, and this keeps the flower locked until the pressure of a bee landing on the keel dislodges it, causing the style and stigma and the stamens to burst upwards through the keel, liberally dusting the bee's abdomen with pollen, the long, now curved stigma having first come in contact with any pollen the bee may already be carrying. In spite of the fact that it has such a powerful smell, it's something of a surprise to learn that furze doesn't produce nectar, although the behaviour of the visiting bee seems to suggest that they expect to find nectar. What they do find, however, is plenty of pollen. Apart from its agricultural importance in the past, furze was also a very important medicinal plant, and among its other important economic uses is that a beautiful yellow dye could be made from furze. There's an awful lot more to say about the plant after the flowers have gone, for which reason we're going to come back in a month or two to see what happens next.